Hello, I'm here today to talk to you about the angle bisector theorem. The angle bisector theorem states that the angle bisector of a triangle divides the opposite side into segments proportional to the remaining sides of a triangle. The angle bisector theorem can be used for many things. Among these are finding the length of an angle bisector of a triangle and finding the lengths of the segments an angle bisector separates the opposing side of a triangle into. Throughout this video, I will show you an abstract example of the angle bisector theorem in use using variables, a real example of the angle bisector theorem in use using real numbers on a triangle, and an example of how to find the length of an angle bisector on a right triangle with real numbers. Here is an example of the angle bisector theorem using variables. As you can see, the side length of AC is x, the side length of AB is y, and the side length of CB is z. The segments that the angle bisector divide the opposite segment into are m and z minus m. Now, this expression is shown in this ratio, which shows that the ratio of this segment to AC is the same as z minus m to AB. Here is a specific example of the angle bisector theorem in action. As you can see, AC is equal to 10, AB is equal to 15, and CB is equal to 5. With the segments the angle bisector separates CB into equaling x and 5 minus x. By setting the ratios of the segments the angle bisector divides the opposite side into and the other two sides of the triangle equal to one another, cross-multiplying and then simplifying, we can find that x equals 2 and 5 minus x equals 3, the length of the two segments. To find the length of an angle bisector on a right triangle, follow these steps. Begin by finding the lengths of both segments the angle bisector separates the opposing sides into. In this case, x being 5 and 8 minus x being 3. Now, as you notice, the angle bisector 8 minus x and AB forms a second right triangle, with the angle bisector being the hypotenuse. Because, as we've seen, we found 8 minus x, we now have both legs of the right triangle and can use that to find the hypotenuse, i.e. the length of the angle bisector. And you can see here, by using the Pythagorean theorem, I was able to reach my answer. In this video, I showed you how the angle bisector theorem works, what it's used for, and examples using abstract variables, real numbers, and an example of finding the length of an angle bisector using a right triangle. Thank you, everybody.